It is possible to believe every word of the Quran is true, yet still find yourself trapped by the chaos of the material world. Sincere faith, on its own, does not guarantee an escape from the grid of worldly illusions. Within this framework, a person operating on pure belief is the Mumin, or the reader. They navigate reality using a binary logic of right versus wrong, or us versus them. They possess faith, but they process it through a mechanical four-stroke engine of worldly reasoning. That binary logic makes the Mumin vulnerable to the Ya'juj-Ma'juj factorizer, the endless socio-political tug-of-war that divides humanity into left and right wings. Without the capacity to hold two conflicting truths together, the Mumin is pulled apart by these opposing currents. Sincere faith without rushed, divine paradoxical wisdom, leaves a person blind to the true mechanics of reality. Instead of wielding time, they become a passive victim of its contractions. We see this play out in the journey of Musa, the ultimate Mumin. He travels to the junction of the two seas to acquire this higher methodology from the servant, Khidr, a node in reality that operates outside standard linear logic. Before they begin, Musa applies the Inshallah protocol. He promises to be patient, attempting to anchor his finite human sight to the infinite, unseen will of the divine. But to traverse the unseen, the Mumin must sacrifice everything they assume about cause and effect. Their first collision occurs on the water. The servant deliberately damages a working boat belonging to poor people who rely on it for their livelihood. To Musa's linear faith, this is senseless cruelty. But the servant sees a tyrant king further down the coast, seizing every perfect vessel by force. By introducing a calculated flaw, the servant removes the vessel from the tyrant's grid. The radar passes over the damaged ship, leaving its essence and its owners intact. Material loss is the mechanism that allows for spiritual preservation. This mirrors the high-level sacrifice of Asiya, the wife of Pharaoh, who surrendered her worldly palace and lineage to secure a home in the high springs of reality. In the second test, the servant removes a young boy from his believing parents. Musa reacts with absolute horror, seeing only a tragic injustice. The servant recognizes the boy as a seed of Taguth, a future transgressor who would have eventually corrupted the faith of his parents. This preemptive strike severs the toxic biological liability before it can spread. This act serves as a ransom. While biological lineage is prone to corruption, sacrificing the mundane connection clears the slot for a pure spiritual lineage, the lineage of the book, to take hold. In the final test, the servant performs grueling labor to rebuild a collapsing wall in a town that refused them hospitality. Musa is frustrated by what he sees as unfair, uncompensated labor given to an ungrateful community. Hidden beneath the masonry is a treasure belonging to two orphans. This wall shares the structural DNA of Dul-Qarnayn's barrier. It is a firewall of iron and molten copper designed to repel the disobedient and protect the orphans' inheritance until they reach maturity. This protective wall is a material image of the Quran itself. The book acts as a structural chainmail barrier, shielding the true inheritance of the believers from the noise of worldly division until the promise of the Lord is fulfilled. The servant operates entirely within the Rasul field, where time is not a straight line, but a recurring trial. Within the closed universe of the Quran, the boat, the boy, and the wall are not three separate stories, but a single sacrificial pattern repeating across spacetime. While the physical body of a prophet, the Nabi, eventually passes, the book remains as an unkillable living field of execution. Love for Allah, through the word Allah spoke through Muhammad's tongue. 3340 sealed the tongue. As the text says here, the completion of the message made verse 39:23 available to every tongue. It activated an eternal circuit that bypasses history. Accessing the servant's knowledge requires stepping out of the role of a passive reader. You must enter the functional circuit yourself, taking up the same role as a node in the living word. This spiritual upgrade occurs at a specific mechanical coordinate in chapter 19, verse 12. Take the book with strength. This grip is the activation torque. It phase walks the human mind into the invariant iron structure of the book, providing a stable anchor in a world of wildly oscillating socio-political noise. Executing this grip requires the use of pure intellect, or a call, to shatter the glass floor of worldly assumptions. It is the moment a person wakes up from the illusions of the material grid and sees the structural reality beneath it. The book exists as a living amanat, a trust held in the present tense, demanding action from the reader right now. The living word is waiting, and the tesseract is aligned. When will you execute the 1912 grip and become the user?